At SHECAN, we tell women's stories. We show how women got to where they are today. And those are very different stories by many women from across the world and lots of different walks of life. I'm delighted to talk to Emma Redfern today. Emma, welcome to SHECAN. You're a psychotherapy professional supporting internal family systems. You're also an author, a workshop leader, an experienced internal family system therapist and supervisor, and a podcast co-host. So tell us a bit more about yourself.
Hello, thank you. Yes, I live in the southwest of England, in Devon, and I'm a second career psychotherapist. So my first career was in publishing, and now I've been doing psychotherapy and living in that world for 20 years, and about 10 years in the IFS world.
Emma, tell us a little bit more about the IFS world. What does that mean?
Yes, internal family systems is um, a paradigm shift in terms of the way we think about ourselves. So rather than being what we call mono-minded, because I've got one body, one face, I think I've got one mind, when
Mm.
actually we've got multiple minds inside, multiple voices inside. And IFS is a way of helping us get to know those voices and helping unburden parts that need unburdening, um, and having more harmony inside, reducing the conflict between the voices.
Mm.
It's got a set protocol, but it's also a way of living. So it's a way of thinking about me, thinking about you, thinking about our children or our friends, family, work colleagues.
Okay. Emma, so tell us a bit more about your journey. You were in publishing. How did you get interested in psychotherapy and how did you make that your second career?
I had a breakthrough experience, having had a fair bit of childhood, infant trauma, and then later traumas. So I tipped into a diagnosis of PTSD
Mhm.
and had some inpatient therapy in a group setting. And that was revolutionary for my system. And I guess I kind of got hooked. And it was so life changing. In time, I was opening up to becoming one of the therapists like I'd experienced.
Mm.
Uh, I've just been on the journey ever since as a client, as a therapist, and now I'm a bit more mature as a supervisor and also as an author.
Emma, I'm always so interested in people who turn their wounds into their medicine,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, do you feel that you can support people especially well because you have been to those places before?
Yes, I do. Um, I think people that have been traumatized are and have done some work are more open to the field, and we're also, I think, more passionate about healing for ourselves and for other people.
Mm.
Um, so it gives a certain passion, it gives a certain perspective, and a desire to live a different life and help other people live different lives,
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah. No, it's beautiful when that becomes a purpose. And I feel that once you've been to those places, you are better able to meet people where they're at rather than where we think they should be at.
Yes, and also the fear of going to those places
Mm.
is manageable. Obviously, I still have fear,
Yeah.
but IFS particularly um, helps me understand that there's a core inside of me that doesn't do fear and
Mm.
is calm and compassionate and has clarity and can be with people when they go to their fear places or shame places and so
Mm.
on. And it is very special.
Emma, so what would you say is the sort of common denominator of your main motivation?
Um, wow, voice. and liberation. So it's about liberating the voices inside me, which I've put into books and in the podcast or in workshops, and
Mm.
it's helping liberate other voices. So at least the two of the three books I've done are multi-author. So I've edited one and co-edited another. So I'm helping other people put their voices into print and get their voices heard.
Yeah,
And that's important to my system.
yeah. Emma, so what qualities do you think you have or acquired that serve you doing your work?
Persistence, perseverance, the ability to see at a granular level and at a wider level, um, permission to be creative. Let me see what else I put down in my crib sheet. Um, Pedantic parts I've put down who like deconstructing language. I like really listening and being with others, so they feel heard and
Mm,
accompanied.
mm.
Quite playful parts. I like to ham it up and be a bit of a funny person at times. Yeah.
Emma, so now that we are talking about that, give us some top tips on how to achieve the things that we're all capable for.
Action is a really big thing. So somehow giving permission to your system or my system to actually go for it and dialoguing with the parts that say, no, we can't because. So it's getting all the inner voices on board, or at least not blocking some sort of choices. So it's permission to act, permission to, yeah, go for it. What else? Another top tip. Pacing is important. I struggle with that at the moment, and that's something I'm still learning. But yeah, pacing's important, and not going it alone. My first book was a multi-author thing, so and I got a publisher involved, so that really helped me continue on the path towards the
Mm,
goal. If it'd been me sort of floundering around, I might not have had quite the same level of motivation and drive. Although my parts do have quite a lot of commitment and need to complete.
mm.
Choosing who you partner with helps.
Yeah. Emma, so what do you feel is your biggest achievement or the thing that you're most proud of?
Helping my system go from a I can't place to a I can. And look, I have. And look, we did. And look at this pretty one as well. So
Amazing.
most proud of the shift I've been able to do from
Mm,
a really can't hide to a I'm talking to you now.
yeah,
That's big.
yeah, it is big. Emma, so what do you feel were your biggest challenges?
Um, well, the biggest challenge was the constraint I put on myself.
Mm,
And I think initially I came to therapy quite late because after this breakdown, breakthrough experience, and I didn't really know who I was
mm,
before. I was highly functional, and certain parts of me were, driving my inner psychic bus, but I didn't know who else was there. And it was quite fragile because we have protectors, they're called in IFS, who are very functional.
mm.
Um, but my heart was quite closed. There was a lot of fear. So um, I've forgotten the question.
The achievements and no, your challenges. What were your challenges and how did you overcome them?
Okay, well, the first challenge was getting permission to know myself, be curious about who am I, who is this person.
Mm,
So therapy was massive in helping me become who I am today. Supportive supervision, all the way through has been really important, or less supportive, and recognizing maybe it was less supportive. So learning to choose and differentiate what helps me, what doesn't help me. My partner, my husband, also retrained to become a therapist and is also an IFS therapist.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Being part of the IFS community has been really helpful and supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I belong somewhere at last, almost. I've come home. Um,
Lovely.
hmm.
Emma, so what are your future plans, your goals?
I would like and expect to be doing more of the same. So more supervision, some therapy, although I do less of that. And there are two books I started before any of these were published. And I want to get back to them and see if I can complete them and
Yeah.
get them out there. So that's a goal as well.
Emma, do you have any role models, people who inspire or motivate you?
Well, psychotherapy role models, yes. Dick Schwartz, for example, Robin Shohet, a supervisor. Um, Byron Katie has been very inspirational as well. Byron Katie's the work.
Mm.
And I think, so they're kind of, I think of them as up that way, you know, they're out there. But also the people I work with, the supervisees I work with,
Mm.
they're incredibly inspirational as well. And seeing them and their journeys and being part of them moving forward into new things, or becoming certified, or that's also what keeps me going and keeps me interested. And
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, the human connections.
Mm.
Emma, thank you so much for talking to me today and telling your story.
Pleasure. Thank you.